12:01 this morning, a new travel ban went into effect. If you're from one of 12 countries full of black and brown people, you're no longer welcome here in the United States. You're going to hear that it's all about national security, but it is not. It's about racism and slowly taking away rights. Some of the countries are Haiti and Nigeria, Syria, Yemen, Venezuela. What do they all have in common? Most of these countries are majority Muslim or majority black and brown nations. Several of them have political instability or humanitarian crises happening. The administration says this is all about keeping Americans safe, but there's absolutely no data showing that travelers coming from these countries are any sort of unique threat. And in fact, a lot of travelers from these countries have already been through extensive screening processes. So let's call this what it is. It's politicized racism. The president and his closest supporters just don't like folks with black and brown skin. The administration knows that and they feed into it. They say we have to protect ourselves from people coming into the U.S. to cause terrorism, like with the shooting in Boulder last week. The guy involved there was from Egypt, and Egypt is not on the list. So once again, we're being fed bullshit and then are supposed to act like it's gourmet food. I know this is an odd concept to Republicans in general, but I refuse to play dumb. This isn't about safety. If it were, you would have transparency. You would have reviewable intelligence and actual metrics, data that you could look at and say, here are the reasons. But it's not. Instead, what we're seeing here is a pattern of immigration crackdowns based on fear and race and chaos. Actual facts and actual data have no place here. The current leadership has a long and public history of racism. For example, a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States, referring to African nations as shithole countries, claiming that a federal judge couldn't be impartial because of his Mexican heritage, pushing a birther conspiracy against President Obama for years, telling 4 congresswomen of color to go back where they came from. There are lots more examples out there. It's just the continuation of a pattern, targeting the most vulnerable and then selling that cruelty as strength. So you might be thinking, all right, it's awful, but I don't live in those countries and I don't know anybody who does. Does this really affect me? Yes, it does. And here's how. The power to suspend mobility rights without oversight is now being treated like it's normal. So, controlling who goes where when. That used to be a freedom. It is now a limited freedom. Any one of us who thinks that this won't touch them, we need to remember how quickly tides can shift. Here's a good way to think about it. What if it was happening to you? And you suddenly couldn't go visit your son in college because you're white? Not okay. What if it was your mother and she can't come and visit you on Thanksgiving because the people in charge don't like the way she looks? That's authoritarianism creeping in. Just take away one more small right. Nobody will ever miss it. Well, we miss it. We notice and we object. This is not about immigration. It's not about safety. It's about control. Authoritarianism rarely shows up in jackboots marching down the street all at once. More often, it arrives through paperwork and silence and policies like this. What can we do? Here are some things. If you've seen my videos before, these are going to sound familiar. Have your representative's numbers programmed into your phone and just call them at the same time every day. Just yesterday, I saw an interview with a congressional staffer, and they said that these calls do make a difference. Speak up. Share sources that tell the truth. Use your platform and spread the word. That's what I've decided to do. Whether it's 10 people or 10,000, share the information and let people know what's happening. You could share this video right here. It would be very easy. Just hit a little button and it's gone. Our voices matter, and your voice matters. Be the person who doesn't look away. The point of these kinds of policies is to make us feel small and to make us tired. We are not just going to be reasonably alarmed. We're also going to be reasonably active. So if you are with me in wanting a country that lives up to its promise, that it's a place for everyone and not just for the lucky or the white or the rich, a place for everyone, then you're watching the right video. Stick around, keep watching, subscribe on YouTube, and let's keep showing up together.